Oh shit. Where's the thing? There we go.
I'm like, oh shit, I'm early. What's going on? Oh, good.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for what I believe and I hope is correct, episode 457, GeekVerse podcast. I am the Let It Rip Taylor Field, and I am joined by
The final Kirklin Patzer.
final Kirkland Patzer. So, plugs. Gotta do plugs. Check us out with your internet connection. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerseCast is our Twitter. GeekVerse on our Facebook. Be sure to also check us out on a whole variety of other social networks as well, like YouTube and everything. And you can also find us on Patreon, where you get ad-free, exclusive, early episodes and content. It's a great time. And you also, depending on which tier you join, you get access to the After 9 show, which we just did one the other day, Kirklin.
Lots of fun. Yes, it's always nice chatting with the Patreons. You know, we had Maddie in there, Summer, Carl enjoying his football game, April. It was a great time to everyone that joined. And it's just fun catching up. And we try and do them, relatively consistently. We had a bit of a break there over the Christmas holidays and stuff like that. But it's good to just be chatting again, getting people's thoughts on, we don't talk about Bruno and Kanto, all the shenanigans that we got into. It was lots of fun.
Absolutely. We got Fanboy Clay in the chat. Snell, too good for the Morbius trailer. He left us he did us dirty. He just gave us the rags, basically.
I know. It's just dirty rags. He's like that movie Frozen, probably. He's like stuck on a chairlift somewhere right now, just powered down. He can't get out.
Shit. Well, we got some good topics we're gonna be talking about today, though. Is there anything you want to plug, though, before we get into it?
Nothing personal, just go check out the GV feeds, GUA, however many podcasts, however many days a week. We're just rocking it and having so much fun, and great times. Batman this week, that is a big deal. It's so funny, like the countdown with that. Travis has been pretty consistent. He's been very consistent on Twitter, just doing like the countdown daily. And when it was like 23 days ago, I'm like, I can't believe it's that close. And then now we're like literally 3 days away. Some people are seeing it even sooner, like the fan release ones. I don't know if I'm just busy, like in personal life. I just don't really think about it. It like hasn't really hit me that it's actually coming out this week. I am so fucking pumped. Are you staying away off Twitter and stuff? I know Travis probably is. He doesn't want to get spoiled anything.
I've dabbled a little bit, but like what's the worst that they could do? Like what's the worst they could spoil for me? Like I mean, knock on wood.
Dangerous question. Yeah, exactly. I just popped on there and I quickly saw a little bit of a review, like a number review. It's not a spoiler or anything. I'm not even gonna say the number, if the audio listeners don't want to know, but it kind of blew my mind, honestly. So
I have seen a number review.
Okay. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I won't say what it was.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Excited for a 3-hour movie, Batman, Pattinson, everything. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. Make sure to check out that review.
That's a good show. Yeah, there's a few reviews coming out. There's Elden Ring review coming out this week by Dylan and Travis.
That's right. On Side Quests.
On Side Quest, yeah. I'm trying to think what else that there is.
Got our Euphoria review. Travis and I both watched the finale last night. That was absolutely insane. Taylor, you haven't seen that show at all, right?
No, I haven't. Is it like 13 Reasons Why, but like times 10?
I gave up on 13 Reasons Why. I think I've seen the first season, and I never was interested in coming back to it. Definitely, like maybe some comparison to that. But it's phenomenal. It's so well done. Zendaya just really shows the layers of her as an actress. I feel like many people just really liked her because of her charisma, and she was just really good in the role of MJ. And I think she was like a Disney star back in the day. That was beyond my age range to be watching those shows, but I feel like she's just always been very well received. But in this show, just like the level of her acting is absolutely phenomenal. It's next level. That show is absolutely crazy for all the right reasons, and I don't think it's a show for everyone whatsoever, but it's phenomenal. So yeah, the finale came out last night. Travis and I are gonna drop a review probably Wednesday, so look out for that on Thursday if we don't do it live. But Yeah, no, it's gonna be crazy. I don't think we're getting another season for like 2 years, so it's gonna
Oh my
be
gosh.
it's gonna be quite the waiting game for that one. But that is a phenomenal show. I'm really glad I jumped into it, and I'm really glad I jumped into it now because I think there was like a 2 to 3 year gap again from season 1 to season 2, probably due to COVID and stuff like that. But yeah, no, phenomenal. So yeah, check out that review. Taylor and I are gonna be dropping a little Love Is Blind season 2 review tonight during this episode. So
Mhm.
plug the current episode. We don't do that often, but stick around for that if you like that stuff. And yeah,
I
there's
imagine
probably another review. I'm just forgetting.
we got the comic book versions that has to drop this week before the Batman review. So just waiting for Travis to get back into
We're
Wi-Fi.
gonna before doing the Batman review, we're just gonna do like a CBV episode. Just completely delay the Batman review.
Yeah, the night of.
Yeah. No, we'll drop that sometime this week. That's a fun one.
Oh, we got S-Bubs in the chat. I've got everything Batman related muted on Twitter. The Batman, Catwoman, Penguin, Riddler, and Barry Keoghan just in case. It's good.
Do you remember
It's
who
a
he's
good
supposed to be
plan.
playing?
Mr. Freeze, right? Killer Croc.
I think so. I think that's what Matt Reeves said. He said this is gonna be his series moving forward. Yeah,
Confirmed.
something like the Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter. Yeah, there you go. Well, without further ado, Kirkland, tell me, why is your favorite movie Fantastic Beasts 3? And you're gonna
Oh,
be
that's where
excited
we're
to talk
starting.
about it.
We're starting strong tonight. Yeah, Fantastic Beasts 3. They released what I believe to be their final trailer. What's the drop date on this movie? I've been
It's a
so
good
not following this
question.
movie at all. I don't even know when it's coming out. The fact that you have to Google it kind of tells me you're the same. Huge apologies to if there's any like major Fantastic Beast fan out there. I could just preface with saying like I love Harry Potter. You know, we go check out our Harry Potter retros. Those have been dropping in lead up to this, which I think is the final Fantastic Beasts movie. Yeah, so we did our retros going over that. That was so much fun. Taylor and I just dropping memes and having lots of fun. Probably pissing off Jessica and Dylan a little bit too much, but hey, that's what we do. And so no, they dropped their final trailer, and I've been like probably less than lukewarm on this movie. Like Taylor mentioned me watch this trailer. It's just like I only gonna watch this trailer because just to talk about it on the podcast because I just have no interest in watching this. I didn't even see the last movie. The first movie, funny enough, I think that's one of Shay and I's like first movie going experiences, and I don't really remember it. It was just so forgettable, very boring.
The movie,
got
not
a-
the date, right?
No, the date was phenomenal. Luckily, we're still together. Yes, so it was a good time. But no, I like just watching this trailer, and I think the first time that they had a trailer for this movie, I was actually pretty positive on it because it had a lot of Harry Potter vibes, and probably because it was literally like, here's Hogwarts, and then here is Dumbledore, and just like really just hitting that I guess nostalgia for just the Wizarding world and the Wizarding world of the Harry Potter realm. Not like I think they go to New York and like they go to other places in the world, but so that was fun. But the more I've seen it, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm probably not even gonna see this movie. So it's just really, hindered my hype levels. I don't really plan on seeing this at all. This trailer, like even just the audio, it doesn't really like feel Harry Potter to me. Like they're like just I don't know, like some of the music that was going along with it, I was almost thinking like Marvel like type music. I don't know if you felt the same or completely different on the music. Were you getting like Wizarding World music?
Only at the part where they casted like the remix theme of Hedwig's theme.
Oh yeah,
And that was like near the end of the trailer, and that's kind of what sold it for. No, I shouldn't say sold it. That's a bad term to use in this case, but like it's just I love that score, and that was something in the second one. There's a scene, not much of a spoiler for you, but they actually go to
You could
Hogwarts,
spoil.
and like the Ministry for Magic people are showing up at Hogwarts, and then it does the panoramic shot of Hogwarts, and then it just plays like. Oh my god, like full on the Harry Potter theme. And it just wraps you right into it. But
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this is great. But I'm not in the Harry Potter like zone. Like I'm in the
Yeah.
Fantastic Beasts.
Well, probably
zone.
everything leading up to that moment. It's not like I'm so in on this Harry Potter stuff. It's just like, okay, I'm watching this, and then that hits, and you're like, where am I right? Where am I right now? Where
Yeah.
am I right now? Platform 9 3/4. S Bubs, very similar story to me. I watched Fantastic Beasts 1 for my birthday when it released, and I was super hyped. I don't remember what happens at all. Your birthday? Same question Taylor asked me. Probably the movie. Yes, pretty forgettable. But and just getting back to the score really quickly, I feel like especially like the Harry Potter movies, it's such an iconic like score and soundtrack and everything. Like I could be deep sleep and just hear it and it like hits me in the bones of like, oh, just magic. And it just has that attribute to it. Like it's a very magical soundtrack and I just did not get that really from the trailer. Fair enough with the Hedwig pull. And I think like right at the end when they showed like the title, I got a little bit of that, but again, it was just I don't know. It felt fairly unmagical. It felt rather Muggle-like, honestly. So,
Muggle, like there you go.
what do you think of the trailer, Taylor?
Well, I mean, it was definitely on the higher threshold of excitement for me. Actually,
Okay,
like
that's good.
this, it is good. This one actually got me a little bit buzzed, but the first one, I was in no rush to see it. I think like the podcast did a review for it, and select individuals went to see it and talk about it. I didn't join in for that because I wasn't picking up the vibes. Second one, I saw like 3 months after it released initially in theaters. I did see that one in theaters for super cheap.
It was in
But
theaters for 3 months. Is that normal? I feel like it's a long time.
I think like a 2-3 month is like a normal
Okay.
run. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's probably wrong. I in the context, I saw it at the Encore on the West Side, so they usually get the movies like
The cheap
way
theater.
later. Yeah. So they usually have it
Fair
like
enough.
at the cusp of it's like right before it goes on the DVD kind of a thing. So
Right.
yeah, it was a great movie though. Like the second one, I shouldn't say great, but it was definitely greater than the first one in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but it's not Harry Potter. Me and Madison, we're reading through the Harry Potter novels right now, and
Nice.
it's just got that magic, and you're not necessarily feeling it, but
Very quickly, since you're mentioning the Harry Potter novels, a buddy of mine told me if you are listening right now, probably listening on Spotify or wherever you're listening. I think my buddy just recently found on Spotify. There's like a lady that just narrated like the whole books. I don't even know that's legal, so maybe I'm just like completely. I'm like putting attention on her. Now she's gonna get shut down. But yeah. Apparently they're really good. There's like some nice background music too, and she goes through all the novels, and apparently they're like really well done.
I'm gonna have to find this lady.
I have never read through them. I think my mom was reading the first one to me and my sister when we were really young, and my sister got so pissed off at me because I was so just distraught and like literally crying that nobody showed up to Harry's birthday, and that's like first chapter probably. Like literally, this is how big and wholesome my little heart was when I was younger. You know, it's gotten all corrupted and dark now, but back then I was just so upset that nobody was coming to his birthday party, and then my sister was so pissed because my mom wouldn't keep reading. It was just making me so
You
upset.
ruined
So
the experience.
I never have read the books. I think that would be a fun one to go through the audiobook wise, especially at work. I'm able to listen to music and stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
phenomenal product though. Those Harry Potter movies and books.
Well, that's what Madison did before. She's done all the novels with the audiobook version, but I mean, I've never had any experience with that for Harry Potter, so this is my first time going through it and just like reading it visually word for word. So it's funny we got onto the Harry Potter thing, but that just goes to show like Harry Potter over Fantastic Beasts, but
I'm not reading no
the-
Fantastic Beasts novels.
definitely not. But anyways, with the trailer though, I mean, it's this is the first time, not first time, but like this is the first Fantastic Beasts film where Mads Mikkelsen is now playing this character, Grindelwald. So
That's right.
Johnny Depp is out. Mads is in. I wish Johnny Depp was in, but here we are. So it'll be interesting. I think Mads Mikkelsen will play definitely a fantastic Grindelwald. Like he definitely suits the role of being a dark wizard, and I'm just excited to see the Muggle get the wand and just conjuring spells and stuff like that. Like,
Do you like that character? I feel like his
Oh.
humor would like majority works for you. That's my guess. I could be wrong here.
it does. He's
Yeah.
definitely like, he's definitely a pull for me. And then
Yeah.
Jude Law, I love Jude.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh man, and him
Phenomenal.
is Not Gandalf, not Gryffindor, fucking
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. Thank you. Oh my
That's
God.
I can't even judge you because earlier I almost said Gandalf. Like every single time I think Dumbledore, I almost want to say Gandalf, but I caught myself. So there you go.
It's a trick. But yeah, I am looking forward to this movie. But I don't know if I'm in necessarily like a rush to see it, but I am
Yeah.
anticipating.
Can we look forward to a possible Taylor solo review for this?
I don't know. I mean,
Months
I
later, if
think-
nobody on the GV sees it.
I'm sure Jessica and
Yeah.
will, like wrap Travis in there to go see it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess Emily is really, really big into Harry Potter. Jessica is definitely. And even Travis mentioned this, though. Like, as much as Emily is into Harry Potter and everything like that, like, I think she was pretty lukewarm on the last Fantastic Beasts movie, if I'm remembering correctly. Even Jessica, I think, very similar. My sister is, again, like, I think she's their level. Like, she is hardcore on the Harry Potter realm, and she hadn't even seen the second Fantastic Beasts. Like, she thought the first one was fun enough just because it jumps back into that world. But it's just, I feel like it's hard to get like really invested in it if you're not that attached to the characters. And Newt Scamander just wasn't a solid protagonist for me to really want to follow. I agree with you. Like the Muggle guy, I actually quite liked him from the first movie. He was fun. I'm definitely on the more positive side of the fence when it comes to that character. But it's just not enough to really pull me in. You know, if Shay still worked at the movie theater, I had free movies. Maybe I'd see this. That's not so much the case anymore. So,
that's
Kirkland
fair.
signature and the Sailor Taylor.
Sailor Taylor, I love it. Shout outs to Big Wumbo.
Big Wumbo with the names. Thank you for joining. Yes, that's no Trab Patty tonight. He is hopefully not stuck on the chairlift somewhere, freezing to death.
What was Dylan's nickname that Carl gave him?
The Dill Dog.
The Dill Dog.
I think it was Dill Dog. You did not like it.
No.
So if you guys go check out Side Quest, if they do those live, make sure to give them Dill Dog. See how he
Dill Dog.
reacts. All credit to Carl.
S Bubs, Morbius vs. Fantastic Beasts. Which will have the lower audience score and which will have the
Ooh,
lower
good
box
question.
office?
That is very good. I'm very, very bad with tracking numbers and stuff like this. I never look at like projected numbers. It's usually on here with either you or Travis that like gives me these estimates where I have like a ballpark to go with. But you know, just shooting in the dark here. I feel like I'm gonna be so wrong here. I think, but I'm just gonna lean into it. I think Morbius has more hype around it, and I don't even know why, because it doesn't make sense. You'd think that the Harry Potter Wizarding World just has so much like fandom there of people that are just diehard Harry Potter fans that have their tattoos of the Harry Potter characters or the house, whatever it might be. If it's just a Wizarding World product, I feel like they will go to theaters there. But I don't know. Like, I mean, we'll talk about the Morbius trailer when it comes to it, but I am not scratch at the bit to see that movie, but I'm definitely seeing it. And if I had a gun to my head, choose one or the other, I think every single day of the week I'm going Morbius. I don't know if you feel the same. And then for audience score, again, that's another coin flip because Fantastic Beasts, it seems pretty warm. Like just, I don't know. Like maybe the Mads pull is really big for just performance wise. Maybe a lot of people will love it there, but I don't know. Because Morbius could be a hit and it could be a huge miss, and I feel like Fantastic Beasts is just very in the middle. I feel like it'll do okay. So just for the wild card pick, I'm gonna go Morbius for both of those questions.
I'm gonna back you
Yeah.
110% on that. I just feel like Fantastic Beasts has a little bit of kind of exhaustion with it, and
Yeah.
people kind of already suspect like we know what we're getting into going into this, yada yada yada. Whereas Morbius, like, sure, it feels kind of like a carbon copy of Venom. The regular guy who's trying to do good becomes the villain and is trying to fight it and be the anti-hero. We've seen that story.
Yeah.
So I still think it's gonna do better though, because it's still a new character and people are excited to see, Jared Leto is a vampire and Morbius and what's gonna play out with that. Like, we'll get more into the Morbius trailer, but actually this is a pretty good segue actually for it. But
Absolutely.
couple more comments here. Fanboy Clay, I actually liked the first movie. The second one did a poor job at sticking to the gimmick of Fantastic Beasts. they felt they needed to bring in the big hitter characters of the wizard world. It's very true. They had to rely on the big names, which is not what you want to do all the time.
Well, it seems like they're going more of that, in this one. Like, we have seen some more creatures, I feel like, from the earlier trailers, but it still feels like they're like, we're going back to Hogwarts. Oh, look, Dumbledore's, he's back again. And then even like the final shot of this trailer, it's Fox, again, just really hitting into that nostalgia, I feel. So just, going off Clay's comment there and just vibes of these trailers, I feel like you're going to get a little bit more of the same of the last movie, especially if this is going to be the final one. Like, really try to just have a big climactic moment with all that stuff in there, all those ingredients.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you would like to speak to on the Secrets of Dumbledore?
It's the Secrets of Dumbledore, eh? What was... Crimes of Grindelwald.
Crimes of Grindelwald.
I thought it was Secrets of Grindelwald. I'm like, man, they're just unraveling
That's the fourth one.
all these secrets.
It releases April 15th, by the way.
April 15th.
Next month now, I guess, officially, yeah.
Holy moly, eh? March already. That is... February's a short month, but it's still just hop, skip, jumped away. My goodness.
Yeah, definitely. Well, without further ado, let's get into some Morbius. I got Big Wumbo here. No Travi Patty, but it's all good, boys. The final Morbius trailer didn't get me any more excited than the other two. Trailer 3. Kirklin, I'm very curious how you feel about this.
Trailer 3, eh? On Mr. Dr. Morbius, the bat guy. Yeah, so this trailer, it showed a little bit more of, I feel like, what we already seen, because they had that like extended scene. I don't know when that dropped, if that was like, do you remember when that dropped? Was it just like a trailer?
That was on the boat, right?
Yeah, and it was like a scene. It was a full-on scene.
It was a full-on scene. That was like a month ago.
Was it a movie, like they released it as a trailer, or was it like a movie end credit?
It was like a full-on scene. It wasn't like a trailer, is how I took it.
Okay. But anyways, yeah, this one just kind of I feel like just added a little bit more to what we've already seen, which is always good. They didn't like come out and just spoil something big in the movie. I'm always in favor of them not doing that. I feel like Sony has a bad track record of doing that. They're showing off a lot more of him in action, and I think that's been my favorite part of seeing these trailers, is honestly like him just jumping around, the effects of slow-mo and everything. I think all that looks really good. I think it looks freaky. It's just scratching that vampire vibe, and all of like the vampire things that he says, whether it's just like, oh yeah, all I can have is blood now or I'll die. Like, it hits me. Probably nostalgia of just loving like Underworld and like those types of movies. So I'm pretty positive, like, going into it. And by pretty positive, it's like over 50%. So don't take that to the bank of saying this is gonna be like a 9 out of 10 movie or anything like that. But I'm gonna go into it and really want to enjoy it. But yeah, everything like action wise, I think has been really, really good. Some of the dialogue hasn't really captured me the most, but I think this will be one that I go into mostly for the action and the combat, and hopefully I get surprised by a really good story. And I actually really like these characters. I'm very interested in seeing the explanation of having like Keaton there, having Falcon. Not Falcon. Vulture. There you go. He's one of the birds. So yeah. What do you think?
Well, I mean, there's the first line in this trailer was the guy in the boat just saying like, I can't see a thing, and that's what I was literally thinking watching this trailer. Like, I can't see fuck all.
It was pretty dark.
So dark. But once we got out of that a little bit, I mean, it kind of cleared up a little bit. I had to like crank my brightness up full on my phone, but I didn't mind it, and I have to say, like, I'm still starting to like come around a little bit more with Morbius. I'm trying to figure out like what was their goal by pushing it. Like, I know there's some conspiracies behind that. I love a good conspiracy, but I would just be so jazzed if Spider-Man just popped in, and they would never show that in a trailer or anything like that. But
I'd be very, very surprised. I think I would gasp like audibly in the theater if that actually happened, because I'm pretty low % of that even happening. But fuck, anything can happen nowadays, right? So yeah, I'm not putting my chips on that spot, but if it happens, I will audibly gasp, I think.
Oh, absolutely. What do we got in the comments here? Rumor is that most of, if not all of, Michael Keaton's scenes are in this trailer. That's so depressing.
There you go. Yeah, Big Wumbo.
Oh shit!
They gave a longer scene with Keaton, but it still didn't give us an explanation how he's in this and in Spider-Man. How do you think they'll tie it in, other than a variant? Then he said, since he's Vulture and Spider-Man, S. Bubs replied, it'll be totally unexplained. Do you think it'll be totally unexplained? I kind of think they will. I think they will just not explain it at all. He's just gonna be there. And maybe like at the end of the movie, they'll touch upon some sort of collision of multiverses things. I mean, we have the Venom thing. That's like a known variable of someone that from the Sonyverse that's just like transitioned to both ways. I mean, other than the big ones, Toby and Andrew. But do you think there's going to be explanation around that character?
Not a
Do you think there's
chance.
going to be more scene? No, not a chance, eh?
No.
Do you think
he
there's going
just
to be more
pops
scenes?
Oh, I think we could get like
Maybe more
one more,
dialogue.
but more dialogue definitely. But he's gonna be in
Yeah.
the same like prison cell kind of situation. Like I was just trying to understand like what is Michael Keaton's purpose here? Because he's like, yeah, you know, you gotta like sometimes just embrace who you are on the inside with the power you got as a gift and all that. I'm like, what is this narrative he's pushing? It's like you're just like a construction worker that was stealing alien tech, and now you're like rooting for this like vampiric doctor to
Just
let
pumped.
his inner demons out. Like,
Yeah. Rattle the cages.
he's rattling the cage, yeah.
And then, I mean, Big Wumble brought up the term there, like other than a variant. I don't even think there's gonna be really variants in the Sonyverse. I know that they're technically somewhat connected through. You think so?
Well, what about that Spider-Man poster, which is not Tom Holland's
That
suit?
I have zero explanation for. This is where it could be a variant. I'm completely wrong, but I don't know. I feel like it's very much tied to the Marvel universe. I know that they have some crossover here, but I still think Sony's gonna want to keep it pretty separate. Because like part of me wants to say like, oh well, it's Sony. Maybe they have no plan, and it's just like that was just a fun Easter egg to have that poster in there. I think that's probably not the case, and I really hope that's not the case because, for one, it's just like were dissecting that, you know, in the trailer. Like if it's just in there as a fun Easter egg, like I don't think a trailer is the place to put that, especially
No.
like having a lot of emphasis on it. But like on the other side, part of me is still kind of thinking that like the variants are just such a Marvel thing, and I think they're going to become a bigger thing, especially with the Multiverse of Madness. I think we'll be seeing more variants there. It's weird for me to just want to say that there's just going to be Sony variants now, but could be very wrong. I'm usually pretty wrong on these guesses. That's what's so fun about doing guesses. Most of the time you're wrong, but when you get them right, god damn, it's sweet.
As long as you're not Travis, you want to get it right.
That's why I make those comments when Travis is stuck on the chairlift right now, freezing to death.
you see on the Twitter, you have that like that Batman
know.
like title thing.
You see
what
mine? I did.
What was yours again? I did
I
see
just
it.
did anal beads.
Oh, Anna Bleeds, yes, yeah. I did a Riddler gift.
It looked really good in that font, I must say.
Yeah, it does. Oh, what do we got here? S-Bubs. Hey, I need your help taking out a certain friend of mine. Cut to credits. Oh my gosh. Characters. Big Wumbo. S-Bubs. Honestly, you're right. Sony can't tie in other universes' characters unless they have Genius Feige.
The big Feige dog. Big
I
Woman
mean-
must be in cahoots with Travis here. He's getting dialogue straight from him.
Oh, absolutely. As far as like variants and stuff go, I definitely find it a little. The trailer that we saw, like a slow-mo scene of Morbius walking, and it clearly shows that Spider-Man poster. Like, if that's the only reference we get, it's such a weird thing to put in a trailer, like you said. So, I do hope we get something, and that's where the conspiracy comes into play. Like, hey, they delayed it because maybe a certain Spider character wants to like shine into the Morbius movie. But
This movie was supposed to come out on my birthday. It was supposed to be my birthday present. Come on. And now we're getting it months later.
well, it's become the new New Mutants, right?
I forgot about that movie.
Have you seen New Mutants yet?
I did, because I think it was like a Golden Geek nom or something, so I was forced to watch it. And
Right.
I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, no, I didn't like it. Like, I really like Annie Taylor-Joy. She's a phenomenal actress. I didn't even like her character in that movie, so I think that goes to show. Maybe we even reviewed it or something, and I watched it for that because I remember talking about it. Might have been a little bit more discussion than what we would just have through Golden Geeks. So maybe we did review it. It's a blur to me. Yeah, I feel like I just combined that movie and Dark Phoenix. That was the name of that one, right? Yeah, I just tie those two movies together. It's just kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
Sorry to all the lovers of those movies. I know you guys are far and
Probably
few between,
alienated
but
what, like 2 people that like those films.
yeah. Oh yeah. They're gonna give us a 1-star review.
Well, anything else you have on Morbius?
Not really. I don't know. I haven't been like really theory crafting much on this movie. I feel like most of my brain juice goes towards like Multiverse of Madness and stuff like this. But it's like I said before, like all like what do you think about like the CGI and stuff? Because for me it looks awesome. It looks really, really good. Like just like him like morphing and like dodging stuff. They could have just polished that up for the trailer, but I really hope it looks good, and I think it looks great, honestly, from what it's shown. It's in those dark zones, so maybe they're hiding some of that CGI, but nonetheless, it looks really good. Even when he's like just out in the world and he's just like jumping across, but like it just looks really, really cool. Maybe like the train scene when he's just floating in front of the train. Maybe I'll give that a little bit of a barely pass, but everything else looks really, really good in my opinion. What about you?
I think you're right. You gotta use it's Jurassic Park does it. You cloak the CGI and like poor lighting and like storm
shaky
stuff,
cam, all that stuff.
It works so good, and I love the movements. Again, that boat scene where he's like slow mo and he's like slashing and slicing and dicing. I love every second of it. I'm with you on the train scene. That's a little rough. Is it's just like gliding down there. That's something else, but. No, I think overall, like CGI trailer, the stuff set up. Like I love when he was being interviewed at the end of the trailer, and the guy pulls out the holy water, and I can't remember what he says. Something like you can't be too careful or something, or like, oh, have you ever seen Lost Boys? And he's like, story of my life.
Isn't that like Jared Leto's movie? Isn't that like some weird like fourth wall? I gotta look that up because I honestly thought he was in that movie, unless I was getting it mixed up with something else. No, I'm wrong. He's not in that. I totally thought it was some weird joke going to like an early Jared Leto showing. I am wrong. So there you go. Never mind. Ignore me.
It's okay.
I kind of eye rolled because I thought it was. I don't know what I thought it was.
Big Wumbo. That's what I was thinking. At Kirklin's signature, they polished the CG for the trailer. There you go.
Oh, I totally thought they were talking about The Outsiders, and Jared Leto's not even in that, so I would have been double wrong. So ignore me.
Well, I think that's it for the Morbius trailer. So we'll jump to our first ad break as we continue along all these news details. And we're back. So what else do we have here? Let me divert to my little bit of notes here.
Let it rip a little bit, maybe.
Let it rip. Yeah. What is your history with Beyblade? I want to know.
Okay, yeah. So that's a fun one. I remember watching the show when it was on like, Channel 22, YTV, whatever channel it was on. I wasn't following it like religiously or anything, but I think it was just in the cycle of those shows I'd be watching. So after the show that I really liked would be on, that one, or sorry, the one I really liked would be over. This one would just jump on. And I liked it enough. It was like that anime style. It was pretty high octane, like a lot of just intense music, Beyblade, and it was just fun. It's fun. I had a Beyblade, but I had like the starter set. I remember one dude in my neighborhood, he had like all of the attachments. Like I had like the little block that you just have to hold it like this, and then my cord, and he had like the whole handle one. He probably even had like, remember when they came out with like, it's like pay to win, literally. It was like an electronic one, and then it had a trigger. You probably had this. You're grinning. You did. Okay.
I swear.
But so yeah, I just had like the base model, and I liked it. It was fun. I think a friend of mine had like a little arena, so that was fun to go on. But yeah, like once I started like going against kids that had like all the mods, they had like their dad like took like a belt grinder and just was like sharpening the edges on his Beyblade, making it
on
all.
their house.
Yeah. I don't know if they went that far, but like mine was plastic. It was purple, and yeah, it had like the little tiny circle of like the monster that's on top. And I'm going against these kids that are like just fucking like most of it's like a 10-pound Beyblade, and I got this little light thing. So I was pretty demoralized just on the competitive side of it. I never really was really into it after that. I think I just like put my little my ripper on the hook, and I just retired it from there on. But still fun. What's your history with this before we talk about this news?
I mean, it would have been grade 2 or 3 for me when Beyblades really took off for like at my school. And yeah, I just remember kids like you're right, like they had like the metal components, like these were
Yeah.
heavy duty pieces,
Oh yeah.
like, and they would go to battle. It was lunchtime would happen, and kids would show up with like 10 Beyblades. I never had any growing up, and it's really sad. I never got to enjoy that. I just got to watch
They're
from the
expensive.
sidelines. They were
Dude,
very
like,
expensive.
Man.
Absolutely. So I'd be like when you're watching the anime, I'd be one of the guys in the crowd cheering on the competitors. So
The hype guy.
Exactly. But yeah, the pieces were crazy. Eventually, I finally got my first kind of Beyblade. It was a Burger King kids deal, and it was just such a cheap, shitty fucking piece of plastic. Just got annihilated. But kids would be betting these things, like betting some of their mod pieces. Like this was gambling back in the day, like loot crates
just like
and everything.
underground, like 12-year-olds Beyblade tournaments.
Oh yeah. I kind of would just love to, just as a guilty pleasure, buy one for myself right now and just like, I don't know, like
Just go challenge some kids. Now that you're like a rich and adult, you can just go with your modded one.
There's a
you
school
got your
down
electronics.
the street. Yeah, there you go.
There you go, school down the street. You gotta go challenge some kids. You might get on like the warning list. You might get flagged. Watch out for the stranger.
The stranger keeps showing up. Yeah, with the anime hair.
His Beyblade. Wanna rip it up. It's like, dude, we don't do those anymore. That's like early 2000s.
I'd be taking bets though. I'd take bets, and I'd be claiming other Beyblades as trophies.
Just taking pink slips. Is it still relevant though? Like kids rip it up?
I'm pretty sure they do. Like they're still in the stores. And if they're doing, which we're going to be talking about, a film, they must be doing well financially.
I would hope so. We're gonna put all our chips, all of our stock on this one live action movie. So yeah, that's what we're kind of talking about here. Live action movie, Beyblade. I don't really know much details other than that. Like, have you heard like what studio or anything like that going out with it?
Up a little. I should have pulled up a little bit more details here.
That's okay.
Jerry Bruckheimer producing the movie for
I know
Paramount.
Yeah. Damn, that's kind of surprising. I think my initial thought was like Netflix. They did Death Note. We all love that. No one loved that movie. Joking, by the way. Never seen it. You guys did a review for it, I believe. Or maybe it was Golden Geeks. Another one of those.
Maybe we did. I think we did.
Willem Dafoe in there, classic film of his. But no, so they had that one, which was live action, and then they did. Pardon me. They did gosh, why am I blanking? Cowboy Bebop. That was a TV show, but not renewed for more seasons. But yeah, so this news coming out for this one, it really shocked me, honestly. I thought Beyblades were just gone with the wind. I didn't know that they had any popularity or backing or anything like that. And the live action route kind of surprised me as well. It's a tough thing, I think, to adapt live action, which most animes kind of are, probably. I think most of the general audience would agree with that. But especially Beyblades, right? Because like they got these spinning tops, and you were there in the schoolyard seeing the kids let it rip. But on the show, it's a completely different situation. There's like fucking dragons coming out of those tops, and like literally like fucking Godzilla versus King Kong in the middle of this arena, and there's just these two kids that just like let it rip. And I don't even remember how the show went, because I think that's the only time they really do it. Actually, no, I think they do like commands, like audible commands, like Pokemon. Look at you dropping links. Toys R Us Canada. That's only for Canada though. Like I don't think they have Toys R Us in the States.
No, they don't. They went bankrupt. They stopped selling Beyblades there. That's why.
But so it's again one of those things that's tough for me to just to perceive this like actually becoming a thing live action. It's apparently happening. You know, Jerry Bruckheimer, Paramount, that's a big name. So they must have some sort of idea, I would hope, on what they want to do with this. But surface level, I don't really see how this is gonna go. Just movie wise, money wise, like, are people asking for this? I don't think at all. What are your thoughts on this, Taylor? You're laughing. You're looking up Beyblade attachments.
I am.
aren't you?
I'm gonna pull up a picture here for the video people. Like, okay, now you're enjoying yourselves. You're doing like some one-on-ones with your friends, and then Buddy shows up, packing heat, drops this on the playing field.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's
Like, what?
Insane.
Mine looks like, I think mine was like square compared to those things. They have like razors on them. And look at that handle.
This will decapitate you as it comes
Holy
out of the
shit,
arena.
he's
This
even
is
got
crazy.
the case with the foam in it. That is, yeah.
This
If
bundle-
a kid showed up with that, I would have just walked away. I would have just thrown my little
Yeah, it's done.
my little top in the trash.
This bundle's going for $62 on Amazon.
Honestly, that's cheaper than I thought. I thought it was gonna be like a $500 set, especially just because probably a legacy set. But I guess I'm wrong because it seems like they're still selling them. So
Amazingly, they're still selling some. Yeah, I'm super hyped. Like, I want to
You
buy
are?
one
Yeah.
right now. Holy crap!
oh, on the movie or this?
Oh, yeah, on the toy. I mean, the movie too. Like, I'm definitely hyped on the movie.
Did you watch
actually.
the show? I didn't even ask you.
I
don't
watched
think.
a little bit of the show,
Yeah.
not like a lot.
I just remember Tyson was the main guy, and just everybody wanted to have his Beyblade. I hope I'm getting that right. I think his name was Tyson. It was something like that.
I do think that the show or the movie has some opportunity, though. I think that it's got potential in the sense that like the special effects could just be super cool. We could be looking at like, okay, some amazing like dragons blasting out of the Beyblade and everything like that, and like some super cool like neon effects and all that stuff. I just think would be super just dazzling. S-Bubs, you sent me a photo of a Beyblade, and I'm just gonna pull it up here because this is actually like pretty crazy. It is called a here we go. A lethal razor blade.
Holy crap! Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Beyblade mod, the variant Lucifer.
That's illegal.
That's so
Oh, yeah, it
brutal.
says right there, chassis is a legal modification. You cannot bring that. Beyblade Geeks 1 year ago, over 500,000 views. So, okay, Beyblades might still be relevant, I guess, if they can have that many viewers, you know? Just a year ago?
No kidding. Shout outs to S-Bubs for that. I'm gonna have to find this video and actually watch it. I want to see that in battle. It's like we have like robot battles now. People engineer robots and duke them out. This is like that for kids though, essentially. So,
Well, fuck yeah, when you have metal razors on it. Yeah, it's definitely battle bots.
I do think that there's potential though. I think once you get everything kind of like all in order, a good story, you get some good actors on here, and then you get the awesome special effects of like the guy like final battle. You know, like we all get like rooting for him in the championship. Like it's the last match, and he just screams out, "Let it rip!" and he just gives it his all, and it's just like the two Beyblades just.
Oh yeah, the way that they would do that, and then that would never happen in real life. They would go dunk, and then my little dinky Walmart one just goes flying off to some kid's modified illegal razor attachments that he had. Like, not even kidding you. Like in my mind, it's probably so different than what was actually happened. But like, I picture something like what we just saw with that like razor blade, like just showing up, and I have just this little like circle. There's no bumps on the edges. It's not violent. You could put your finger in there, you know, get touched. But like these kids would show. It's like probably double the size of the Beyblade I had. Gosh, it was just so like, I just felt so beta. It's like, oh, that's what you got? Okay, I'm gonna go play outside, I guess.
That'd be a cool gauntlet match idea. Set up the arena, overhead camera down, and just Beyblades best of 3. Oh my god.
Oh gosh, I should see if my parents still have my little purple one.
You should whip it out.
Somewhere
I'd
in
love
my
to see
toolbox.
it. I'm sure
I'll
Travis
mod
is
it
like modded out. Travis is probably like a low key, was like big into Beyblades in elementary school.
I'm gonna guess no, but yeah.
Well, I think that's it for the Beyblade topic. I don't got any other notes.
I'm glad
on
that you're positive on it. I mean, we'll definitely be, updating more details and stuff that comes out, but I just need to see like more information on it because it's just really hard for me to just get my head wrapped around what this could look like because like the anime was just very cartoony, very anime, right? So like the characters had like crazy anime hair and like the battles were just so over the top. And Godzilla vs King Kong, I like seeing giant monsters just slap it out. So if we get that, that'd be crazy. But it's just again live action. What is this push for live action anime adaptations? I don't understand it. Haven't seen a killer one yet that I know of. But
I guess it kind of depends too on. I mean, you look at the Pokemon Detective Pikachu. I mean, that is anime, but nothing was super. I mean, their hair and their design isn't super flamboyant, but I mean, it was just regular people in the real world in live action, so they might roll with something like that. It'll be interesting to see how Paramount kind of dabbles in, because Paramount's really been branching out with so many different things. I mean, because they're doing Sonic, right? And I'm pretty sure they're doing Sonic.
I don't even know.
Yes, it is Paramount, and obviously they're doing Halo, and so they're doing all these kind of game adaptations too. So
Yeah.
and we got the Transformers as well, so they're definitely all about the toys.
Look at that. The classic S Bubs. He probably knows like instantly, but just because of that delay, we always answer right before him.
I know. So we're making you look bad as subs, not intentionally.
Yeah. Nothing more
Well,
Beyblade.
what else do we have on this juicy little news list here?
What about someone's name 3 times?
Yeah, lead us in with that.
I don't even know if I'm the best person for this. So hinting around Beetlejuice 2, sequel with the original Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, and I think Brad Pitt is a producer, which is pretty crazy.
His production company, I think, is it?
Oh wow, that's big. What's your experience with Beetlejuice? I saw you quickly mention something in the chat today, but on air, give me your history with Beetlejuice.
I probably watched it. I probably count on my hands how many times I've watched it. Not because it's just I don't think it's a bad movie. It's just I got to be in the right mood for it. And I've watched it increasingly less, considering Madison hates the fucking thing.
What about it? Is it the grossness?
I think it's just I don't know. I should ask her. She's not a fan of
Dead people.
I guess just dead people. Yeah, like it's just such a weird concept, and there's so many things that it's kind of just a negative aesthetic to the movie. But I think it's wonky. It's wacky. I like the idea of them being in the attic, just ghosts and trapped in the house. I really like the whole sandworm kind of dystopian outside world that kind of appeared and everything like that, waiting in line to when you're dead. I don't know, it has some quirky elements to it that I really enjoyed. Anyways, like continue.
Well, yeah, because my experience is pretty much nothing. I don't think I've seen this movie. I'm not even kidding. That might be a crime. I know it's a really big one. I've seen snippets of it here and there. It's probably on TV, but I'm probably similar to Madison. Like when I was young and this was on TV, it probably freaked me out. I probably thought it was gross. I probably just didn't like the characters or anything like that. Yeah, I just never really have any like nostalgia of this movie or anything like that. So this news came out, and again, it's like Fantastic Beasts for me. Like I just am so less than lukewarm, even if that, probably less. I'm not a Beetlejuice guy. It's probably one of those things that like if you experience it when you're younger and you really loved it, then this is really big news. That's why I was curious. It sounds like you're a little bit more positive on me, like you've seen it a few times. But I mean, I probably have seen it like start to finish when I was really young, because there is quite a few scenes I can pull from. But it's not one that I'll like just put on if I'm looking for a movie like this. Like this is technically like a Halloween movie, eh? Or just not even.
I would
It's spooky,
classify it in the Halloween category. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just not for me. But it's pretty crazy news too, because it's not like Beetlejuice, came out a couple years ago and it's like, oh yeah, no, it's good time for a sequel. This is almost around the like I'm scared to put it in this category because it's kind of a negative category, but like you got your Anchorman cult classic, Anchorman 2. Years later, probably okay movie, but just nowhere near the first one. Zoolander, cult classic, phenomenal movie. Zoolander 2, we don't talk about that here. And then Beetlejuice, like it's got the same actors, but so did those other ones, right? So anything can kind of happen, but I just it's tough for me to even say because I just don't have any skin in the game here. Like I am not attached to Beetlejuice at all, so I'm not even going to be distraught if this comes out. Or sorry, if this comes out, I'm going to be distraught. If this comes out and it's really, really bad and it bombs, I might be a little bit not upset because I have no attachment to it. But I hope it doesn't go that route because I know that this does have like a following. There's a lot of people that love Beetlejuice. Unfortunately for us both, we're not like hardcore Beetlejuice fans, so it's not maybe like I kind of wish we had someone here just really exude their passion on it to just convince me like why this is a big deal. I don't know. Do you have anything else to comment
luckily
on?
we got S Bubs with his passion for the musical version of Beetlejuice. It's pretty great too. I listened to the soundtrack, but would love to see it live. So there you go. Beetlejuice, the musical, was 3 years ago and was pretty popular. So I think there's a newer generation that likes and knows about the characters.
Okay, that's
You
good.
made a good point about the sequels with like Zoolander and Anchorman. I think the thing that those movies have in common though is their level of humor is very much in line and like similar, I guess. And I think those kind of humorous movies kind of run that kind of trajectory. Whereas with Beetlejuice, it's not at all like that style of humor at all, not that dirty humor or anything like that. It was very serious, and it was about like the way I see it, just this girl just kind of building up and helping her kind of like grow a little bit in terms of just how she was dealing with things and just kind of like how they were just Winona Ryder was playing that girl. I keep forgetting that, but
That's right. Yeah.
it felt like a good story of like overcoming, especially for like the ghosts too that are in that movie as well, and Beetlejuice just like throwing wrenches left, right, and center and everything. So it was a good adventure. The script hasn't been written yet, but I don't know. Like the first one came out in 1988, so I think that's definitely a long time to just let things like simmer and brew.
That's pretty
up.
crazy, honestly. 1988. I feel like I don't know if Keaton was like just on a hiatus, but I feel like he's just like really like coming back into the mainstream, like just with like his Batgirl appearance, the Flash even, that beautiful image. I don't have it ready to pull up. Oh, there it is. There it is. This image of Keaton, and the Flash. Fuck, I love that image. There's just some sort of like relevance of him like coming back, I feel. And I could be completely wrong. Maybe he didn't go anywhere, like he was in I don't know what era, the Birdman? Is that what that's called? It's like that super Oscar movie. I think that won a bunch of awards.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know what year that came out, but he's S Bubs saying he still got the moves. That's what I was gonna say though. Like if he is gonna be like really into this, I think this could be a big success because like he was that movie. I know Winona Ryder was probably really good in it too, but like he is Beetlejuice. Like if you don't have someone like that that's just like really, really charismatic and good with the role, I think you could have a lesser movie, but there's a reason why that is a special movie for a lot of people, right? And I think Keaton is a really big part of that, and the fact that he's coming back, I think that's really, really awesome. To even like that is like the cake, and then I think like the extras on top is like actually having Winona Ryder back, right? So that's gonna be really, really fun having those two back. And again, I'm kind of speaking from like someone just on the sidelines because I'm not a Beetlejuice fan. Maybe I'll have to rewatch it and like sit down as an adult. Maybe I'll actually grow an appreciation for it. But I hope it does well. I very rarely will I be saying I hope this movie doesn't do well. But yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of Michael Keaton. So I hope it's successful for him, and Winona Ryder is absolutely fantastic. So I hope that goes well, and even just for Brad Pitt's little production company there, that's again, I think the biggest thing out of all is just it's surprising, just because, like you said,
Yeah.
1988.
It was rumored for a while, I think, in talks, but now it definitely
Okay.
seems like it's got some more wind in its sails, so that's good. S.
Mm-hmm.
Bubs says his big comeback has been in the late 2010s. He had some other stuff before that, but he started giving those awards performances continually recently.
Yeah.
Notably, in The Other Guys, I just
Oh
love Michael
God.
Keaton
Yeah.
in that.
Don't go
Don't go
chasing
chasing
waterfalls.
waterfalls. Oh, that's amazing.
That's great. Of all the quotes, this is why you and I have good back and forth.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
rapport. Fuck, that's funny.
Well, anything else to add to Beetlejuice?
No, nothing else to add on that.
Okay.
We need to just do a retro on Other Guys. I know I'm just spitting out retros I want to do all these times. I wish we had more days in the week to do things like this, but that is such a special movie, honestly, The Other Guys. I don't think people will praise that enough. That is absolutely
It's so
fantastic.
good.
And big names in it too, right? Like it's not just Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, Michael Keaton, The Rock was in there, Sam Jackson. Like it's just fuck, that's good stuff. Great movie.
Yeah,
Great movie. Go
it's
watch
really good.
The Other Guys if you haven't seen it.
I love Michael Keaton's just working at Bed Bath and Beyond there.
That hits so home for you. You used to work
It
at Bed Bath
does.
and Beyond too. That's
it
amazing.
really does. Oh.
And he's just when he's doing the team meeting in the morning, and he's like, "There's a rapist in whatever neighborhood." He's like, "Oh, sorry, that's my other job. Ignore that. Not if you're in that neighborhood. Walk in Paris." Fuck, he is a treasure. Honestly, he's so good. And he's one of those people that again, I never really I'd seen him Batman 89, and I think I just liked Batman. I didn't really attribute the performance or anything to Keaton, but just later in life, just really growing to just love that actor. He's so phenomenal.
He's so bloody good. So bloody good. S Bubs.
S Bubs hasn't seen it.
Sounds like a good recommendation.
Oh my gosh.
Mark it down.
Well, I didn't spoil too much of the movie there, but I gave you some good quotes. You definitely have to go see that, S Bubs. It's probably on many streaming services too.
I would imagine so. Well, I guess we'll jump to our next ad break as we mosey along here. We'll be right back. And we're back. So I guess all we really have left is Love is Blind, but I'm just going to take this opportunity just to shout out one quick thing because it's freaking awesome. I'm not gonna go too deep dive into it, obviously, because Dylan's gonna talk about it, I'm sure, in his side quest. But there's 2 new Pokemon games that are gonna be coming out: Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet. I just wanted to say it because that's super exciting, and I'm gonna be buying them.
It's big news. Yeah. Dylan's definitely gonna deep dive into that discussion. He, on side quest, go check that out. That'll be dropping Wednesday. They'll be recording tomorrow, I imagine, live. And yeah, no, he's the gaming guru, so he'll be deep diving in all this and what it means, and it's good timing too because it's good timing too though because SideQuest first episode was about Pokemon Arceus, however the hell you want us to call that, but I listened to that episode, absolutely great, and it's just funny the timing of. Because him and Dante, they were kind of speculating of oh yeah, this isn't it a main Pokemon title game, and then here we are just not even months later, literally weeks later, and then you get the big drop. It's big news. I'm not a big Pokemon guy. A buddy of mine is, and he buys all of the games and Sword and Shield. So luckily, he gets them, transfers over the Pokemon from the Sword game, and then he'll just give me the full on copy. So always good to have a friend like that. So I've played through some of it and quite enjoy it. But yeah, I'm not a huge Pokemon guy. I think the one I played the most was Pokemon X, which I really loved on the 3DS. That was a really, really good one. But no, definitely go check out Dylan breaking down all that. I haven't even looked into that one, and just because like I said, I'm not a big Pokemon guy, so I will be listening to his episode for all the deets on that one. But very big hype. I've even just seen in our Discord. If you're not a part of Discord, go join. We have just different chat rooms on that one for Pokemon Talk, because Travis Snell in the chat right here mentioned Pokemon sucks. He does not like the Pokemon Talk, so that's why we had to make a separate chat room in there. But lots of passionate people and great people and good conversations, so go check that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Say Pokemon 3 times, Travis appears. Looking like Beetlejuice too, like he's got like the black circles around his eyes. Travis, it's good to know that you're still alive. We thought you were frozen on a chairlift somewhere.
Yeah.
Has he even seen that movie? I feel like
No, he hasn't. I think
Like-
he's more convinced to now, though.
yeah, I don't think I've seen that movie, but I just remember the trailer very vividly. They're like, one last run, and then they go on the lift, and then it just slows down, and all the lights turn off, and then yeah, just
It's a
not
good,
so
it's,
great stuff.
It's a good movie. Like
It's good, yeah.
I put it on as like
April
a fall
really liked
asleep
it.
movie at like
Okay.
10 o'clock at night, and Madison was trying to go to bed, and she closed
Jesus
her eyes, but
Christ.
like she couldn't stop watching. I couldn't stop watching. I put it on to fall asleep too, but I ended up watching like almost the whole thing. I had to force myself to turn it off because it was so good.
You have strange fall asleep movies, I must say.
It's not for everyone.
For me, like in my household, I don't even have a TV in my room anymore. But when I did, like, it would be like How I Met Your Mother, a show I've seen 100 different times. You know, Avatar: Last Airbender, throw that on. Just like very, I don't have to pay attention at all. You know, you're probably putting on like Color Out of Space or something. You're waking up and
Fuck
just
that.
shooting goats. in the-
no. I don't need to see that as I fall asleep.
I pull that out for the fall asleep one because I remember, was it Golden Geeks? It all comes back to Golden Geeks. I think it was Golden Geeks or something that we had to watch that, or I don't remember
Oh,
the reasoning
it
we were.
was a patron, right? Patreon.
Oh,
request.
okay, there you go. It was a Patreon recommendation. Another great reason. Go join our Patreon. You can recommend us to watch a great or not so great movie. We've had quite a few not so great movies in there, but it's all been fun times. But yeah, Color of Space. I remember Shay. I think she had to work like the next day or something. I'm just sitting in bed. This is when I had TV in my room, and it was literally that scene, like when he goes into the barn and the goats, or minor spoilers, they're kind of fused together, and he's just like shotgunning them. I swear to God, I like looked the devils in the eye, like, cause Shay just woke up, turned over, and just looked at me. I thought I was gonna die. She was so pissed that was on. She doesn't like scary movies at all either, and I'm just like, I think I'm just gonna go watch this in the living room. No,
That's a bold play, just to put
oh, it
that
is.
on.
I don't know
Oh
what
my
I was thinking.
God.
I don't think I was thinking, but no,
Oh, such a gross movie.
very gross movie. How did we even get to that? Oh, cause Frozen. Travis Snell. Pokemon. And then quickly before we go to our fun little Love is Blind review, mentioning gaming, we have Twisted Metal news, TV series
right,
gonna
we
be
do.
starring Anthony Mackie to release on Peacock TV. Not the #1 streaming service in the world, but a streaming service nonetheless. You know, I think it was you and me alone on a 2-man cast when we first broke the news that this was even a thing.
I think so. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, you know, starring Anthony Mackie. We were I think we were having some fun just speculating like what it could be. Because Twisted Metal is just such a crazy thing. Now it sounds like it's actually going to be a comedy. How does that make you feel, Taylor? Did you have any interest in this in the first
I
place?
do, but now
Yeah.
I heard it's on Peacock, so I think it's. I always took it to be a serious show, or not serious show, a serious game with a humorous aesthetic, but not blatant comedy insinuated throughout dialogue and that sort of stuff. It was just like a Mad Max kind of vibe, where like
Yeah.
you watch Mad Max and like you'll probably laugh because some stuff is so outrageous, but it's not forced comedy. It has its moments, and it's an outrageous aesthetic, but
Right.
yeah, it's just I wish that's what they were kind of going for, but just to go full on comedy, like how much of a comedy are we talking about? Are we gonna go like Ron Burgundy level of comedy, or what's their goal here?
Yeah, I definitely pictured something like Mad Max as well. Because like in that, there's a lot of room for like really kooky characters, and that doesn't mean the whole thing has to be cartoony type comedy.
Mhm.
And I'm just kind of hoping that it is that it's not cartoon comedy. Like it is a good action movie that has a lot of comedy in it. I think that it could be a better recipe for success than just, you know, slapstick comedy, just just ridiculous humor and things like that. Because I don't even know what like my main appeal was to Twisted Metal. I think just the ridiculousness of it and not of it being like, oh, it's funny. Just the fact that like it's super just high octane, like just violence with vehicles. You know, you have Sweet Tooth, I think is his name, the clown in the ice cream truck. You have I forget like our favorite guy, his backstory of just being like attached to Axel. That's what he was, because he was
Axel.
literally turned into an axle on a vehicle. Like on the surface, that just looks absolutely wild. And like, what's the story behind this? And then you read into the story, and you're like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever read. But I don't even know how I went on that tangent. I was just excited to think about Axel there. But yeah, I don't know. I Anthony Mackie's great. I definitely am intrigued by this news, but it's not one that I'm just gonna be waiting every day for more news on this. It's on Peacock. Not the yeah. Those are big ass tires, man. And like his
That's so
story was like he
crazy.
was like turned into that by his dad, and then like his whole goal is to like kill his dad, or like it's such a ridiculous backstory. He looks so crusty. Hold on, pull him back up again. I want to look at him again. Look at that. Look at his eyes. You just look. And hold on. Look at those pants. It's literally like a PNG. Someone just like drag and drop that over top of them. Just the way that
Oh,
they're
yeah.
cropped. And they're so clean. Those are some blue denim.
Oh,
my
yeah,
gosh.
I got the bio here. Many years ago, my father forced me into this terrible machine. When I finally freed myself, I was permanently disfigured. My torment was not over. I'm climbing back in my machine one last time. When I win, I'll finally be free.
And that's it, eh? That's his whole story.
That's the story, yeah.
That's the story of Axel. So, man, I am okay. We can take this down now. But yeah, I don't know. I want it to be successful. Twisted Metal is a fun we're just keeping this up, eh? Because I can take
sorry. Yeah, there you go.
it. Yeah, no, I hope it does well. Twisted Metal is wacky, and it's like for me, it's one of those franchises that has pretty much been around like my entire life. Like I remember playing that with my neighbor on the PS1. Like just terrible graphics, but still just being able to like witness what's going on. You know, like just someone like Axel just shooting rockets off his shoulders and just shooting people. Like it's got a lot of nostalgia in that sense, and I think a good comparison here actually would be like the Mortal Kombat movie. Not a 10 out of 10 movie, but it was for me, and I think you too. I really enjoyed it, honestly. I think it was a very good video game adaptation movie. Not 10 out of 10 or anything like that, but it was really good. Like Kano, you know, we were pushing hard for him on Golden Geeks this year. That was a phenomenal casting, and I just loved the character because he was so true to what the character was. He was a total piece of shit, totally would get under your skin, and you just wanted to smack him. And I hope the characters that they have in the roster for this is something like that. I'm not saying we need Kano, but you know, just stay true to what those characters are. I don't have much experience with like the actual characters of what Twisted Metal is, but I want to understand why Axel is so pissed at his dad.
Oh,
You know, so
I got a little
he
bit
jumps
more.
into his
I got a little bit more details here.
severe depression. Oh my gosh, that's in red. Oh no.
Is disorder, obsessed with revenge fantasies and violent treatment. Note to staff: do not attempt to treat. He's a lost cause.
Oh no. Oh no, that terrible healthcare system. Oh my gosh. That's a lot more updated version. What game is that from? Like the latest one?
I have no idea. I just found it on his his Wikipedia page.
What a terrible doctor or whoever wrote that. Like he's got it says severe depression in red. Just he's a lost cause. Give up on him. That's very sad for him. But he's jacked, so there you go. He can still work out and look good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Not high expectations for this, but I hope it's good.
Yeah, I agree. Well, are we ready to move on to our final topic of the night?
The main topic of the night.
The main topic of the
Love
night.
is
yeah.
blind. I am very ready.
All right. Well, if you haven't watched everything for Love is Blind, like leave now, come back if you have watched it, whatever you want to do. But yeah,
If you have zero interest in Love is Blind, we understand, but you know, go watch it. It's guilty pleasure, absolutely.
So, Kurt, like you lead us in here because it got crazy.
It got absolutely crazy. Oh yeah, I guess we already talked about episodes 5 to 9. I was about to go in there, but Love Is Blind season 2 finale. Pardon me, get some hiccups here. So, if you listen to our last Love Is Blind little review, episodes 5 to 9, we had our predictions of what was going to happen going into this one. And there was some I was unsure about, and there was a few I felt was painfully obvious what was going to happen. I got to admit right now, I think all but maybe one of my guesses was completely out of left field. Like my expectation, like my mind was blown. Remember earlier when I was talking about audibly gasping, like in the theater? Like I was audibly gasping on the couch, and like Shay and I just looked at each other. It's like I cannot believe this is happening. I hope you've seen all the show, audience members, if you're still listening here. But just like the way that it left off too, with that cliffhanger, we see Nick just fucking pouring rain out of his body. He is the sweatiest man I've ever seen. And like it's weird to even say it, but he actually said yes. How did you feel overall, before we talk about all the other couples? But I feel like that's an easy one to lead off with because it just blew my mind. Blew my mind.
It blew my mind too. I just thought like there were so many red flags. Like, and I mean this, like, okay, a lot of people have their issues. A lot of people are overcoming their issues, and it's hard, especially when you face a lot of tribulations and heartache and hurt in your past. This girl that Nick was engaged with, she had a lot of red flags. Particularly, like, these flags become more prominent when you're dealing with someone who is not very compatible with you, and I didn't get the sense that Nick and her were compatible whatsoever. They were constantly just bickering. But again, I think Travis mentioned this, the show is probably just showing most of the fights and not the good times. But
definitely,
I mean, that's all we saw was just like the mediocre times that weren't necessarily good. They just felt mediocre. Like they didn't have that spark. And I don't know, like the marriage is not going to fix the problems that they have. Not at all.
Because I mean, like I think early in the pod, like they had some dialogue there, just like their upbringing was maybe a little bit similar, and they did connect. Like you gotta connect at least a little bit to propose to someone. I would hope, right? A little bit of that. I definitely think the show, just for entertainment wise, they mostly showed us like the bickering, the fighting, and just the bad times because that's good television. That's what we like to watch and see. But yeah, like their fights were pretty bad, and like the resolution of the fights, like maybe they just didn't show that for like again, producing wise and just trying to make it entertainment. But I feel like all their resolutions, like there was no resolutions. They just like didn't talk about it, and then they would be having a very normal conversation, and then just all of a sudden someone would say something and just be like, I can't believe you just said that. And then they're just like completely, and then the other person would be like, oh, what do you mean? It's just like, oh, what the fuck are you like they would just like immediately be super aggressive and then just like walk away. And I feel like they had multiple interactions like that. Again, could have just been for TV, and it probably was, but still, like it just was not looking good. Yeah, a lot of red flags with Danielle. I still felt bad for her, like going into the wedding, because I'm like, oh, it sucks that she is so like emotionally compromised, and then she's gonna go up there and it's gonna be really bad because Nick's gonna say no. And then when he said yeah, like just his body language, even he's like, oh God, I'm just gonna say yes here. Like it just wasn't convincing for me when he said it. Fuck, was that boy sweaty too? He sweat through his shirt, his vest, his jacket, and I was like. Yeah, it was sunny out and hot, but like I think he was the only person that was like that. And yeah, man, I don't know. Shay made the joke like he's just gonna put her in therapy like instantly. I think both of them, to speak to like professional couples therapy there. This is like stuff like this though is why I just love this show, because it just completely blew me away, and I cannot wait for the reunion episode of these two, but also the other ones that we're going to talk about. And then even more so after that, like the year-long reunion because there's like 2 reunions, right? If I remember correctly from season 1.
Season 1 had 2, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm so excited for that. Mostly for the other people, because I think Nick and Danielle, they had some bad fights on screen, but their drama wasn't my favorite. For compared to some other ones that we're about to talk to here, but yeah, moving on. Unless you have anything else to say on those two.
I'm just
still
I wouldn't be
perplexed.
surprised if they broke up come the reunion episode.
Well, what I thought was gonna happen was they were gonna be like Gigi and that other guy that I completely forget his name, the bad at sex guy. Fuck, that's funny. Where they were gonna just not get married, and then it'd be the reunion, and then they're like dating or something like that. Because I think it was Nick's mom that said, like, I think it was like the second last episode was like, yeah, I could see it not working out, but it sucks because like I think they are compatible. They just need more time to like work out their things. And I thought she was probably right. Like, they both got problems. I wouldn't date either of them. But I think what she said was true there. So I thought that's what was going to happen because it was just it seemed very clear that he was going to just say no, especially all the things leading up to it. But yeah, it happened, and can't wait to see what happens at the reunion. Maybe she just isn't at the reunion, right? It's one of those moments where, a terrible breakup. Yeah, could happen.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go next? I don't even remember the order of the. Yeah. Okay. Natalie and Shane.
Yeah, I thought they were going to pull it off, and that was more kind of like turned around on that perspective because of I think you and Travis both kind of like swayed me more into that, and sure enough, that just backfired again after the Nick and Danielle thing. I just it's all cards are off the table now. Anything goes. So when that happened, it just blew my mind. It's hard to deal with a prediction like this because you predict it, and then all of a sudden they shoehorn in. We had this big fight where the night before the wedding, Shane was like, "I said I hate you," and all this stuff, like things you don't say to your fiance the night before. So, that
dialogue. But I love too when Shane's like telling what happened to his buddies. And his buddy's like, "Wait, you said that?" He's like, "What the fuck, man? Like that's terrible." And like that's his buddy, that's like on Team Shane. Like it was just very, very funny that because it was bad. Like what did he even say? Like, "Oh, I don't even think I should marry you," or something like that. Like night before the wedding.
Something like that, yeah.
She's like, "I think you had too much to drink." Anytime someone says that, it's like, oh no, red flag. This guy just crushing kegs with his boys or whatever the hell was going on. I really didn't like Shane from the get-go. He's fun to talk about, and he's good for the show because he's just he's a character. But he was not like a likable person in my point of view. And yeah, that one was another surprise. I said it before. All of them except maybe one, I was very, very surprised about. This one was as well because a couple episodes beforehand, Natalie said that Shane was his number one, or her number one rather. They were pretty set on like marrying each other, and like I think my initial thoughts on them not working out was kind of persuaded by Travis to like go on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Because he brought up some good points, and a lot of the dialogue they had on screen, it was like normal coupley stuff. So I was pretty convinced it was gonna work out. I'm glad it didn't. Like Natalie's case, I think she brought up some good moments, and again, just another shock factor. It blew my mind, and that's always good TV. What about you?
I'm just flabbergasted, and it just seemed like it got worse after. And that's always the most like it's like bait, but it's always the most intriguing part when someone says no and then they run off and kind of like just talk about it, and like it felt like cringy. It felt bad vibes. So
even his like conversation again there was absolutely terrible. Like what did he even like? He was basically swearing like at her, and it was just. God, Natalie, like just cut bait. Like you don't need this guy. He's fucking awful.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
He was just when he's being interviewed, just afterwards, like I don't know what you want me to say.
That was so funny. Oh my god, that was so funny. It was like the baseball thing again.
It was. It really was.
Like the things he's saying, it makes it feel like he's not actually mad, but he like at the wedding, he's like, "What do you want me to say? I'm really fucking pissed off right now. Like, stop asking me those questions." Like, He's coming up as a crazy person. He already has crazy eyes.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
just like,
he
what the
does.
fuck, man? Like, I shouts out to the producer, whoever asked him that question that just set him over the edge there. That was absolutely hilarious.
Oh, they're stoking the
entertainment-wise.
fires. The
Oh,
producers are stoking
absolutely,
it.
absolutely.
Oh, but yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see them in the reunion.
Yeah, because I mean, for most of these couples, I think this reunion is gonna be so spicy. Like because last season we had the Jessica. What the fuck was her name? Who's the other one?
Was it like Barnett and his girl? I can't remember what her
Yeah,
name
his
was.
girl.
I don't remember.
I am totally blanking. That's unfortunate. But her and her were like, going at each other sorta because Jessica was all trying to steal Barnett. So that made it really fun. And then there was that other guy. Oh my gosh. Whatever the case was, they had some just pretty spicy like lingo there. I think it's gonna be so much more so on this reunion because there was, I mean, we haven't even talked about all the couples yet, but there's just so much more mind blowing no's and a lot more no's than I was expecting.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shane and Allie's gonna be a good one, but I think I think an even better one is the fucking oh my gosh, I'm blanking on their names now. Not Sal and Mal, not Jarrett and Ayana. Who's the other one? Deeps.
Deep and Shake.
Deep and Shake. Okay, can we
Cringe.
talk about them, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, this was one where. How did you feel about Shake in the beginning? I know we already talked about it, but just recap.
He was. What's the word? Shallow. He was
Oh,
extremely
absolutely.
shallow.
Shallow Hal.
And I didn't pity him whatsoever.
His conversations with pods. If you're at a festival, like, could I carry you? Would that be possible? Terrible, terrible, terrible. And those were two where I thought they had some like decent chemistry in the beginning. And then the whole show was just like pushing, like, oh no, I'm not just physically attracted to her. And then from Deep side, it seemed like she was like really gung ho for him. And then I forget what point of the show happened. It was pretty later on in the season when she made the comment of, like, I don't want to just be like a second choice, and like he should really like feel free. And I'm like, yes, girl, okay, have some like actual like self confidence and just like, because this guy is shallow and everything he was talking about. Like, if I was in her shoes, I would have felt terrible. And this was one where I actually thought they were gonna make it all the way. I think, I don't know, someone mentioned that like maybe again like the whole not being able to sleep together thing was just something for the show, entertainment wise. Maybe they had a lot of chemistry, and it actually didn't seem to be the case because she said a hard no right into his face at the wedding. The wedding was absolutely beautiful too, I must say. Like the Indian classical, like, I don't even know what the names are. I'm not even gonna try and guess, but it's just very vibrant. It looked very, very beautiful. All the music, it looked fantastic. Looked fantastic for them. So, and the parents were like really positive on it too. So I really thought it was gonna go through, and then she said no, and huge credit to her. She had a good moment with her and her mom. That was really touching. And then it's just Shake, fucking just being Shake, and he's just like, no, this is a happy moment. What are you guys talking about? Let's party here. I definitely think that he felt pretty gutted, and he was just kind of like putting on a show, like, no, I'm fine, guys. This is great. But honestly, like, I think out of respect, like, that was pretty disrespectful what he did. I was just being like, let's just party, guys. Like, this is a great thing, And like, she's already like super, super emotional, like having that moment with her mom, and here he is just like putting on a party, like nothing really happened. And I personally think he was shook. He was just putting on that like facade, like, I'm fine, it's gonna be fine. And he was talking to his friends and all these things, but fuck, I don't like that guy, and that is gonna be a fun reunion with him. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Like,
It's
just the
absolutely-
characters like reacting to things that they say, and it's the hosts are gonna be just again tossing coals on the fire. It's gonna be so fun. So, what do you think about Deeps and Shake and Deeps? Hard no in his face.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. I am very surprised because I thought they were gonna pull through, but I thought he was gonna loosen up. I thought he was gonna just finally like realize like, hey, like this is like my best friend, and can have sex with her. And that just was not the case apparently. And
Shane's advice.
Shane's advice, yeah. And honestly, like as crazy as it went, I'm glad that it went this way because she does deserve better. And like Shake's mom told him this, like, yeah, that girl deserves like a lot of like great things. And she took a stand and chose herself, and that was like great. I'm glad she did because she made the right decision. I thought he was starting to turn around and become less shallow and really kind of change, but he just he just kept reverting back to his old ways, telling his mom, telling his boys, and then afterwards, after he got turned down in the reception, just telling the guests like, yeah, we just have that attraction and stuff like that. Like that was so cringy,
like
how
playing
he's just
it off.
trying to salvage the party.
Yeah, no, it was because it was as if like, oh no, it wasn't good. Like we're all good, everyone's fine, and like this is a big thing. Like it's almost like he was half-assed in it, like she was actually trying to find like a soulmate there, and he was just, if it doesn't happen, it's fine. I'm a bachelor, I'm gonna be fine, and just really like selfish in that sense of just thinking about it's about him, and yeah, that was. I'm proud. I'm proud of Deeps. That was good. So
It was good, yeah.
And again, like that was 3 for 3 now that we've talked about. That just completely shook me away. And then might as well go 4 for 4 right now because I don't know if you thought this as well, but fucking Mallory and Sal, according to Travis Snell, the psycho killer, the serial killer. I really, really was surprised by this. I thought if anything, it would have been Mal that said no here, but I was convinced that she was all in because I mean, Sal is he's Fabio, man. Like, he is a true romantic. This guy's he's like an opera singer, speaks in Spanish, he sings in Spanish. Like, he is a hardcore romantic. And, if I got paired with him, he would have won me over. Just the way he's swooned this lady. Like, he was just so romantic and so good. And I know Travis, I think he didn't really care for him, mostly because he was just kind of psycho killery. And I think Mallory had some reservations in the beginning, but again, like I just said, like he just completely won her over, and I think that was shown on screen, and just fucking blew me away. What actually happened? Tell me what happened, Taylor. What do you think? Just leading up to it, them and the result.
I'm with you. I thought if anything, she would have been the one to turn him down, but throughout their whole experience that they showed visually, I just saw her. She had a rough start at first, but she genuinely fell in love with him. And yes, he said no, and I can see like to a point why he would. Maybe he just feels a little bit off about it, but I really do think they're going to continue their relationship, at least stay in touch and kind of see where things go, especially with him saying, let's go on a date and take a whole bunch of pressure off. I think once the pressure of the show, it was adorable. The pressure of the show and getting married is off the table. And I think they can really just kind of like really get to know each other more and really just be in the same kind of boat. And I think they were a great couple. They were definitely my favorite couple. I loved how romantic he was. And I loved how she just would melt when he would do these things. It's just so nice to see.
Brought to tears, literally. Multiple times she was. Yeah. It blew me away because my mind, I'm like, come on, Sal. She's gorgeous. Like, just go with it, and then you'll just build upon the relationship there. But like when he like spoke to the families and everything, and then he's just like tearing and like his conversation, like I'm like this, like how can you not like this guy, Travis Snell? Of course he doesn't like him.
He doesn't like romance.
He's amazing, like even just his explanation, like it's just too soon and totally understandable. And it's not like you're gonna lose your wedding, like your whatever for going on the show if you just say no. Like there's no reason why you can't interact with them. And like just overall, I know we haven't talked about all of them yet, but like I was surprised more said no in this season than the last. And part of me was wondering, like, I wonder if they like talked to the last cast or something of just about the experience. Like, if you get like, I don't know how it goes of just like I don't even know how you get selected on the show, and then maybe they're just able to like fucking, I don't know, DM like the last people of just like get some idea of how that went, because I don't know. I don't even know why I feel that. It's just the fact that they said no, and quite a few of them because like Shane and Natalie, I don't think their story's done fully. I'm not saying they're getting back together, but I still think they're having interactions off off screen and stuff like that. Sal and Mal, I think will get together eventually, because she was just really falling for him, and that was wonderful to see. And Jake, I don't think are getting back together. Could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before, but yeah, no, that was a wild one. Honestly, I think that one. I think that one surprised me the most out of all of them. Honestly, just because I really thought that I thought Sal won the lottery, like out of this whole thing, like, and I think he knew that, and he was just being a full romantic. I had like a yellow flag, maybe not a full red flag, when Mal was like that conversation with like his ex showing up. Travis hated that. He said that was a double red flag for him. Not always great, but the line when she said like, if anything happens like this again, I'm done. I'm completely done. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, okay, it's a little weird, but like, if anything happens like this, like if you forget to get me a fucking honey dip donut from Tim Hortons, I'm leaving you. Like, that's how I took it. I'm like, this chick is. I feel like throughout the show she was just looking for reasons to go through, and then Sal was the one that said no. Fucking crazy plot twist, man. This finale was insane. Well, yeah, that's all I really have to say on those two.
Yeah, it's bonkers. Just bonkers. I mean, next, I guess we got the final two, Jarrett and how do you pronounce her name?
Ayana.
Ayana. Okay.
Yeah.
To me, like I became more sold, and I mean, my prediction came around after we talked more about it, like off cast. Just I thought they were gonna get married, and that was my last kind of like hurrah, like, and the only prediction. So
well, that's what I was saying. Like, my one prediction was that was right, was these two. There was some little bit dicey things between Jarrett and Mallory, but I think Jarrett showed that like he was kind of over that, like after Mexico. And again, he could have just been drinking quite a bit, and that was pretty close to the pod, so maybe they had some of that course. But then, they just started interacting with their new pairing, and I'm really happy that was the case. We mentioned it before of like him going out with his boys at the club. So staged, so hilarious to watch. Of just like they're in this club with like just one table of people, and it's just, again, it's another thing that I truly believe is completely built up for the show. And I don't even think that was like hard to dispute. Just the way that scene was shot, it was very odd. But I'm really glad, because I really liked Ayana. I thought she was really cute and really fun, and I just liked seeing those two on screen together. I thought they were making each other laugh, like they're getting each other's humor, and when they met the families, that was really, really great moment. He got his dad to ordain. That's the right term, right?
Yeah.
Ordain the wedding. So that was really good, and yeah, I was rooting for them in the beginning, and I didn't really have a reason for why either of them would say no. I thought maybe if like the going out and partying was like a real thing, maybe that's a bit of an issue there, but it was definitely staged and shown to be a little bit weird there. But just as like a producing decision, like at least try and like put some extras in the background, make it a little more believable that he's just out in the club. But nonetheless, like their wedding was really, really fun. I must say, I think she looked absolutely stunning. I loved her look. She looked so good in her wedding dress, and like the way that she had her hair, she looked absolutely gorgeous. And no, their wedding was fun. Again, made me laugh when she like kind of hesitated or something before she said yes. That was kind of funny, and I really like those two. It made me happy. I was smiling during pretty much their whole wedding there, and I really wasn't worried that either of them were gonna say no there. Actually, maybe I was, because I was just completely wrong on my other predictions. Like, I don't think anything's going to go the way I predicted.
They were definitely, they were just a happy, cute couple. I thought she was adorable, just how she would just get like super energetic and just all like, she was just super fun. And I think it was like, she was a good kind of mix for Jarrett, I guess, as well, and his kind of personality. But, yeah, I think it was a good way to close the episode out with them. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah, having the dad ordain them, it was just fantastic. And yeah, just absolutely just rattled. I just can't wait to see everyone in this reunion episode at this point. I can't wait. I hope they bring Shayna in. I'm thinking like after that wedding, Shane was like, fuck it, I'm out. Where's Shayna?
Dude,
Let's go
that's
talk
so
about
funny.
Jesus.
I'm so glad you're bringing it up because so they went and then like the show ended, tuned in March 4th, and I turned to Shay. I'm like, they didn't fit all the weddings in this episode. What the hell's going on? I'm like, I feel like we need more. And then I completely forgot about Kyle and Shayna. Oh my god, I will donate $5 if that goes to getting those two back on the show, man. Oh, those that is some great entertainment that they had. Terrible for each other. And I just want to see Kyle go ham and just be pissed off.
I couldn't imagine Shayna's family at the wedding, like with Kyle. That would just been so cringing.
No, it wouldn't
Oh
have
my
happened.
God.
The brothers would have like kidnapped him or something, just baptized or something. Those were, a lot of red flags from Kyle. He got lucky, honestly. Like, worst case scenario, they would have just been down for it. And then he's just completely pressured to like make his whole life wrapped around this new religious stance, and nothing wrong against I have nothing against religion or anything like that, but just like to get like those people were hardcore religious, and to go from like Kyle's an atheist, like that's even further than like what I am, so like that is completely bonkers, and he was very dumb for thinking that was even gonna work. And
Are you a man of God? Sorry, what?
what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Like, is that a new band or something? Like, God, Kyle, get out of there, man. Like, jeez, he's probably burning up just being in that house. But yeah, no, man, I just want to, I feel like even last reunion or the second last reunion when they had what was the dudes? Was it like Carlton or something like that? And that other chick who they like got engaged and then they just like broke up in Mexico. Remember when she like throws the ring in the pool?
Right. Yeah, because she learned that wasn't he like bisexual or something like
that's
that?
right. That's
and
right.
I think it really ticked her off that he was not only attracted to women but other men, and just she got super jealous.
Well, I think also the big thing from her was like he didn't say anything in the pods or anything like that.
Yes.
Which understandable. And like I feel like there's parts of those argument you can side with both of them to a certain degree. But then they did like a really weird thing in the reunion. I honestly think Shay and I just had to like skip over that stuff because it was just getting a little too cringy for us. Because I think he like gives her the bring back or something, and she like just completely denies him again. And it's just so much more drama. So I hope I get that with Shane, Natalie, Shayna, Kyle. Like, why not? God, Deeps and Shake, and just hear like Shake explain himself in front of everyone. And there's the happy couples like Jarrett and Ayana that are just gonna be sitting there. They're like oh my god, I'm just forgetting all their names now from last season. But like the two people that got together, Cameron, that was the one, and I forget the lady's name, but like they're gonna be just the happy couple that everything worked out. It's kind of interesting, if we keep getting more seasons of this, and then if it just comes out where there's like one couple every season that just really, really works out, if that's
we'll have to start
decent
taking
odds.
bets, put money on the table.
We should, like a fantasy draft or something, see who's getting points for who's macking, who's trying to sneak in on the other couples.
Absolutely. Well,
but yeah, Love is Blind season 2. I guess like I don't even know if we rate these. Would you say this is better than last season?
I don't know. We could save the rating for the reunion episode because Travis will join us for that one.
That's a good point. I guess the show's not over. That's also very entertaining.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right on. Thanks for chatting.
Yeah. I got nothing else. No notes, no nothing, unless you have anything else.
Not at all. That was lots of fun. Another Taylor v. Kirklin cast. That was lots of fun.
Yeah, I dig it. I like these ones.
Held it down.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this episode of GeekVerse Podcast. It's a good time. It's always a good time. There'll be lots of content this week. And until next time, we'll see you in the search bar.
See you later.